So we're here today to discuss a divisive conversation and subject matter that basically absolves women from being the sole cleaner maid of a household. So the topic we're going to touch on today is that women weren't made to do housework. Let's dive in. Okay, where did this mindset come from of women having to do housework and solely that's their purpose of being a weaker vessel? So therefore a man, and as a man, I order you to look after my house and my kids while I go and make the ends meet for this household. It's actually an indoctrination that came with the Western civilization of the world, which is known as America. And if you look deep, you'll see that it is deeply rooted in our culture as we know it to modern day. If you look biblically upon why women weren't reduced to just housework, as some would like to say, or just simply housewife, as some would like to say, it was more than that. They had maid and manservants. The proof of that is written in biblical text known as the Bible, which is basic instructions before leaving earth. So women weren't meant to do housework. From biblical perspective, our wives and women in our lives never was reduced to mere housework, like cooking and cleaning and childbearing and rearing. But in all honesty, our queens and princesses never had that factor in their lives. They were of a royal mindset that had maid servants and manservants to do their bidding for them as far as taking care of what needs to be taken care of. A woman was equal to her husband, to her king. So where do we get this mind frame? We have to go back to see where we got it. And it's written on the wall, the chauvinism that is very powerful in America dictates that women can't, shouldn't, and ever be in charge, or a man shouldn't be subjugated under a woman in any circumstance, because men largely have always held the power, and that was just their thoughts on the natural way of things being. Now, some people like to use the Bible to corroborate their story in man was made for woman, or should I say before woman, and is placed higher than her because a woman was made from man and he is therefore stronger and she is the weaker vessel. And nothing can be so far from the truth than that, because we were made equal. Under marriage we become one. So why is a woman in turn reduced to bondage in a sense? And I know that's a stretch, but to some, it is just that. So you'll have to go way back to slavery. And I say slavery because for me, as a so-called black man, I see that it's evident where it came from and where this ideology stems from, because we were taught with the European mindset. Our language was erased, our heritage, our history, everything. And we was taught and told how to be. So the Willie Lynch letter couldn't be more true, and how it was passed down through the lineage of the slave master teaching it to the slave, and the slave perpetuating it through their seed until the end of time. So what do? We change our mindset. We rewrite our mindset, our coding. Our women are more than just mere servants. They're our partner. And when we treat them as such, they can vibrate on a righteous level. And righteous meaning functional. Wicked meaning dysfunctional. Look it up. So let's try to adjust our thinking so we can see the right and correct way of how things are supposed to be, so we can be truly happy as people on this earth. Shalom.